Excel Chapter 2, pages 101, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, the remainder of the chapter. All right, on page 101, hiding worksheet data. Please ensure that you read that. Step number 1, select row 6 through row 35 in the monthly sales worksheet. Row 6 through row 35. In the sales group on the Home tab, so Home tab, Sales group, click the Format button, point to Hide and Unhide, and then select Hide Rows. So Sales group, Format, Hide and Unhide, Hide Rows. Rows 6 to 35 are hidden, and the row numbers in the worksheet jump from row 35 to row 36. The data in the third table hasn't changed, even though its formulas use data from the hidden areas, the hidden tables. Okay, this is really important. You have to learn to look at both your column and your row designators. So we've got A, B, C, D, E, F, nothing's missing. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 36. It's always important to look at those because that indicates to you that there are rows underneath here hidden. They still exist, we've just made it so that you can't see them. If we delete a row, it renumbers. Okay, when you delete a row, it doesn't leave a blank. So anytime you see a number jump like that, it means that there's something hidden. Okay, now to show these again, what you do is you select the row above and below. So for us, that's going to be 5 and 36. So what that's telling Excel is everything in between there. Okay, Format, Hide and Unhide, Unhide Rows, and they all pop right back up. And that's how you hide and unhide worksheet rows. You can also do the same thing with columns. All right, on page 101, please read the little short paragraphs formatting the worksheet for printing. I have to tell you that printing in Excel is much more complicated and difficult than printing in Word. Okay, so make sure you read that. At the bottom of page 101, step number 1, click the page layout button on the status bar. All right, down here in your status bar, right now we're in normal view. Switch it to page layout view. Okay, you can see we have problems, right? The worksheet is now switched to page layout view. Step number 2, change the zoom level of the worksheet to 70%. Here's your zoom slider. You can just grab it and slide it to 70. Flip to page 102 in your textbook, please. Take a look and make sure that your screen looks like figure 2-37 at the top of page 102. Read that little short paragraph that starts in the worksheet's current orientation, and then we're going to jump down to change to landscape orientation. Step number 1, click the page layout tab on the ribbon. In the page setup group, click the orientation button and then click landscape. Page setup group, orientation, landscape. Page orientation changes to landscape, making each page wide enough to display all of the columns in each table, and I think you can see why that's so important. Please read the 2 brief paragraphs about defining the print area. Again, printing in Excel is very different than printing in Word, so make sure you read this. At the bottom of page 102, to switch to page break preview and set the print area. Step number 1, click Page Break Preview button on the status bar. All right, so we were working in normal view, then we switched to page layout view. Now we want to switch down here on your status bar to Page Break Preview. Change the zoom level of the worksheet to 70%. If you got a little warning box, by the way, just turn it off. All right, 70%, right? Select the range A1 through K19. A, K, 19. That's the range of the first table. Top of page 103, step number 4. In the page setup group, on the page layout tab, click the print area button and then click set print area. Okay? Page layout, page setup group, then you click print area, set print area. The print area changes to cover only the range A1 through K19. The rest of the worksheet content is shaded to indicate that it will not be part of the printout. So if you hit print right now, that's all you would get was just that first sheet, which could be highly appropriate and something that you needed to do. Step number 5. In the page setup group, click the print area button and then click clear print area. So page layout, page setup, print area, clear the print area. The print area is reset to cover the entire contents of the worksheet. So you just learned how to set a print area to only print a portion of the worksheet as opposed to the whole thing. On page 103, you need to hit pause on this video right now and read inserting page breaks and the inserting and removing page breaks information. Again, very different in Excel than it is in Word and a little bit more complicated, so please make sure that you pause the video and read that if you haven't already. At the bottom of page 103, to insert page breaks between the tables, click cell A20. So A20. With this cell selected, a page break will be inserted between rows 19 and 20. Alright, you click on the cell and the page break will go above the cell upon which you've clicked, okay? So the page break will go up above it right here. Step number 2, in the page setup group on the page layout tab, so we're on the page layout tab, here's our page setup group, click the breaks button. And then click insert page break. A page break separates row 19 from row 20. Click cell A35. Here's A35. Repeat step 2 to insert a page break that splits the second table from the third. So your page layout tab, page setup group, breaks, insert page break, and it goes right above where we had our cell that was selected. So now each one of these tables will print on its own separate page. Reach up and click your save icon and then turn to page 104. Click the page layout button on the status bar. Status bar, there's normal, there's page layout. Stop right now and read Adding Print Titles if you haven't already read it. It's located in the middle of page 104. So just hit your pause button and read that. Alright, page 104. To define the print title for the pages, step number 1. In the page setup group on the page layout tab, click the Print Titles button. Alright, we're already on our page layout group. We've been working in this page setup, so we are going to print titles. That opens your page setup dialog box with the Sheet tab selected. Click the Rows to Repeat at top box. Okay, Rows to Repeat at top, right here. So, we are going to click this button right here, Rows to Repeat at top. Now, move your pointer over the worksheet and select the range A1 to A4. A1 to A4, you may have to scroll up. A1 to A4. Oops, right there. So we're going to get the XRComp, the Intelligent Path to Fitness, and the X310 monthly sales analysis all selected, and that's what's we're going to tell it to print that at the top of every page. A flashing border appears around the first 4 rows of the worksheet as a visual indicator that the contents of the first 4 rows will be repeated on each page of the printout. The cell reference, the absolute value of 1 through the absolute value of 4, appears in the rows to repeat at the top box. It's right there. Perfect. Now, click OK. By the way, I hope you saw that I clicked on that button to make this re-extend, and then click OK. So, as you can see, Exercomp and all this good stuff right here now appears on every single page. All right, stop right now, hit your pause button if you haven't read what's on page 105 about creating page headers and footers. Okay, again, works a little bit differently than Microsoft Word, and you definitely need to read about it in Excel. All right, at the bottom of page 105, to insert a header and footer in page layout view, go over to your status bar and make sure that you're in page layout view. Change the zoom level of the worksheet to 90. 2 clicks. Top of page 106. Scroll to the top of the worksheet and then click the left section of the header directly above cell A1. The Header and Footer Tools contextual tab appears on the ribbon. It's right here. See, this is your header. You have 3 sections. You have right, you have middle, and you have left. Click on the left section of the header, and then you'll see you have this contextual tab that appears. Type file name : Again, if you're a slow typist, just hit pause until you get it all in. Press the space bar, and then in the Header and Footer Elements group on the Design tab, click the File Name button. Alright, so we're on the Design tab. Here's our Header and Footer Elements. We are going to click File Name. The code which displays the file name of the current workbook is added to the left section of the header. Please don't worry about it. It really will put in the real words instead of the code. Press the Tab key twice to move to the right section of the header, and then click the Current Date button in the Header and Footer Elements group. Again, you're going to see code go in. So in the Header and Footer Elements group, we're going to click Current Date. Take a look at figure 2-40 and make sure that yours looks like it. Number 5, in the Navigation group on the Design tab, click the Go to Footer button. Alright, we're on the Design tab. Here's the Navigation group. Click Go to Footer. Step number 6, click the center section of the footer. Right there. Type the word page and press the space bar. Now, click the page number button in the Header and Footer Elements group. If you're struggling with typing, press your pause button, and then you can just hit play when you finish typing it in. Alright, so click the page number button in the Header and Footer Elements group. So Header and Footer Elements, page number. Press the space bar, type OF, press the space bar, and then click Number of Pages. Okay, again, right there, Header and Footer Elements, Number of Pages. Press the Tab key, we're in step number 8, to move to the right section of the footer. Type Prepared by : and press your space bar. Then type your name. Okay, again, if you're not a real quick typist, just press pause. Alright, step number 9. Click cell A1. And then scroll through the other 2 pages of the worksheet to verify The same header appears for each page, and the center section of the footer displays the correct page number and total number of pages. So you can see this is page 1 of 3. Just scroll through. You can see we've got our extra comp sales report, the date. Remember that your date's not the same as my date when this was created. Scroll through. Page 3 of 3, prepared by. It's all in there very nicely. All right, one more page, you guys. For fun right now. Hit save just in case. Whew, almost there. All right, page 107. If you have not read Defining the Page Margins, press your pause button right now and read the top of page 107. All right, step number 1. Click the Page Layout tab on the ribbon. Step number 2. In the Page Setup group, click the Margins button. Page Setup, Margins. A menu opens with a list of predefined margins. Click Y to set 1-inch margins around the printed content with a 1/2-inch margin around the header and footer. The size of the margins around the page increases but does not affect the content. Each of the 3 tables and the print titles fit on single sheets. So we're selecting wide. All right, last thing, to save the workbook and print the worksheet. All right, click the Normal button on the status bar to return the monthly sales worksheet to normal view. Status bar, go to normal. Save it. Print it. Print the monthly sales worksheet and then close the workbook. This is the file that you're going to submit for grading. Make sure you hit save. You did it. Good job. If you didn't understand any part of this, please go back and go over it again.